Tagaytay, nag-remage kami doon. And tuwing summer, yung buong group, we have our outings together. So in conclusion, brothers and sisters, the Holy Family of Nazareth is to be our model. Yung Holy Family kasi, no, they underwent trials of poverty, persecution, and exile. But the Holy Family also glorified God in an incomparably exalted and pure way. God has a plan for our families. But the devil, the evil one wants to prevent this plan from happening. We should not allow this to happen, but instead seek the protection and guidance of the Holy Family to make God's plan happen for our own families. With all the challenges that our families are facing and the role that we are expected to play, we need the power of the Holy Spirit to help us do all of this. Now we cannot do it alone. We need God. We need the Holy Spirit to guide us, to empower us. And so next stop, we would be experiencing, we would discover how the life in the Holy Spirit would help us carry on with the plan God has for our families. So to complete the talk, I would like to engage my family to share yung kanilang experience. I would start off with aking pinakamagandang daughter, si Abby.
Hello po, ako si Abby. Siguro kung nag-start po ako sa community as Kids for Christ member. So po, tapos nag-YFC po ako May 2003 and naging active member po ako ng YFC for 10 years. And syempre di po forever young. So kailangan ka din po mag-cross over to SFC. Graduate po ako ng SFC noong December, ng CLP noong December 2012. And kami po magkakapatid. So since 1993, CFC members na po yung parents namin. And talagang lumaki po kami sa community na naging part siya sa buhay namin. And yun nga, minsan, hindi rin naman perfect yung family namin. And kung ano man po yung mga trials po na dumadating po sa amin, and kung meron man po kami concern or may problem sa work or sa school, yun lang, ino-offer lang po namin kay God lahat ng yun. Nagtitiwala lang po kami sa Kanya na sa mga plano niya po para sa amin. And kami din, meron din po kaming time para sa family po namin na every summer nag-out of town kami or kahit saan mo po para lang magkaroon na po kami ng bonding. And kahit din po sa service, nagkaroon din po kami ng bonding nung nagsaserve po sila sa Sagip. Kasi every weekend yun. So, para lang din, lagi din kami sinasama ng parents namin para to serve other people na hindi lang na nakita ka rin po kung gaano ka-dedicated yung parents ko sa service nila. It's yun. So parang naging yun din yung nag-push sa akin para maging active member ng YFC na nag-a-attend din po ng activities, ng conferences, and ng assemblies. And gusto ko rin, bilang ate ng mga kapatid ko, gusto ko rin po na ma-experience nila yung mga na-experience ko po nung nasa YFC ako, na kahit na in serving God through YFC or SFC, meron this discomfort kasi Yun nga, pag mga conferences, hindi din naman, syempre, marami po kami nag-a-attend. So, discomfort kasi hindi wala kami sa comfort zone namin na yung matutulog lang kami sa mga school, sa classroom na maglalakad lang kami ng sleeping bag para doon lang kami hihiga, gano'n. Tapos, yun nga, gigising din kami ng maaga para lang makipag-unahan, para makaligo kami. Ayun po, tsaka, lagi po akong nagpapasalamat kay God kasi dinala niya yung parents ko sa CFC kasi hindi rin dahil sa kanya and yung kung gaano ka-passion, kung gaano ka dedicated yung parents ko po sa service namin. Wala po kami ngayon dito and di rin po kami nakapag-serve and di rin po kami nakapag-serve sa ibang tao and wala rin po kami ngayon sa harapan nyo para i-share yung experience po namin as a family and ng bawat isa po. And for that, ayun, next po na mag-share ng personal experience niya with God. Kapatid ko, si Alan.
Yeah.
Okay, hello. So I'd like to share about my experience growing up in a Christian family and growing up in a CFC family. Like a regular Christian family, I was baptized Christian as a baby, and I was introduced to God by my parents at a very young age. They taught me how to pray, and like most Christian families, we attend Mass on a regular basis every Sunday. But being in a CFC family goes beyond just this. So my journey in as being a member of a CFC family started when we started attending Kids for Christ. At this point in my life, it's like, I was introduced to God in a fun way. Our activities would be mostly fun and games, and I realized that my relationship to God could be very enjoyable. My parents at the time were active in Gawad Karina, so they would invite us to go with them every week. A few years later, I was invited to join YFC and join the youth camp. Now, instead of just being a fun relationship with God, Jesus became more of a brother or father to me. My relationship to God became more intimate in the sense that because of YFC, we were able to immerse ourselves in spiritual activities that helped us have a deeper understanding of our faith. We do not only believe in God because we are taught to believe, but rather because we choose to believe in Him and because we love Him. For example, prayer is not just something that we memorize and recite. It becomes an intimate conversation with God. We relate our feelings to Him, and whatever we feel like saying, we connect to God in a very emotional way. Being a part of CFC is responding to the call of God to serve more outside the confines of just the church and attending Mass. Being a member of the CFC also entails me being able to be active and participate in many activities. And with the guidance of my parents, it becomes much easier to serve God and show our love to Him. Being in a family of CFC members doesn't necessarily mean that we are perfect. Just like every other family, we have our own misunderstandings and we fight with one another. But the difference is, at the end of the day, we still stay together. And there's a saying that goes, a family that prays together stays together. And I'd like to believe that my family is a testament to this. And with this, we got this. Era.
So first of all, I'll have a different approach. So I'm gonna It's like a short talk na din. So, first of all, a family that prays together, like mentioned a while ago, is a very well-known statement, and I'm sure you've heard of it at least once in your life. Now, what does it mean? First of all, it means that the family is a work in progress, meaning it advances and improves continuously. It takes time and effort to fully understand each member of the family and strengthen the bonds of the family. We are also all aware that nobody is perfect but God. We all have our flaws and imperfections, but that's because we're human. We are bound to make mistakes. We are also prone to misunderstand and end up with heated arguments with one another. It doesn't differ towards members of the family. Admittedly, we are sometimes clouded with anger that we end up fighting with each other. We argue due to our differences, misunderstandings, and fault to each other. In addition, as we age, we become more busy with our lives that we tend to have less time with our family. Evil is always lurking subtly, trying to separate families. Now, getting back to the main message of my sharing, a family that prays together stays together. Due to our faith in God and in one another, we are able to let go of our differences and forgive each other through God's grace. A family is really bound to clash into each other's lives. Each family has a gap of imperfection which leads to this. God, as mentioned a while ago, is perfect. He is the one that perseveres to patch our holes and heal our damages. Our family experiences those as well. I admit our family is not perfect. We all make mistakes, but God passionately leads us to Him. Our family may not be perfect alone, but with God, the family becomes perfect. And for that, I God be praised. The next speaker would be